Hello, this is Randy Coyle. You are looking at the only machine that, when used as instructed, finally makes it safely possible to perform squats, even full squats, without endangering your knees or back and without causing any other discomfort or distraction. The squat has long been acknowledged as the king of exercises because it simultaneously involves more major muscle groups than does any other conveniently performable exercise. But why should anyone want to perform full squats? Simply because when all else is equal, whenever you perform any exercise aerobically or to build muscle or to increase flexibility, the fuller range the better. So you don't have to be a bodybuilder or a power lifter to benefit from properly performed squats, regardless of your athletic goals. Let's put it this way. Squats are to legs as legs are to fitness. But all too often the squat's potential benefits are offset by faulty techniques, knee and lower back injuries, the limitations and dangers imposed by poorly designed equipment, and as an understandable result, the fear factor. Before I discuss in detail how the Atlantis leg machine solves these problems, my friend Clark Sickles, a personal trainer, who's 57 years old by the way, will explain in his own words why Atlantis squats are the only safe, comfortable, and effective way you can perform the most important leg exercise of all.
What you've just seen is a sensational super swing leg machine by Atlantis Fitness. This is the greatest leg machine I've ever used in my entire life. Anyone who's had knee problems or back problems or was afraid to do barbell squats or couldn't do barbell squats definitely should use this machine. I've been a personal trainer on and off for a number of years. 20 years ago, I was hurt in an accident and was told I wouldn't walk again. I was unable to do any kind of exercise at all entailing the legs. I have a friend, Randy Coyle, who invented this machine, and he told me that it would not hurt my knees, it would not hurt my back at all. At first, I was reluctant to try it. Finally, I did. I found that I could do complete full squats with no back pain, no knee pain. It's just the most sensational leg machine I've ever seen or ever tried in my life, and I've tried a lot of machines. It is without a doubt the best machine on the market.
As you can see, it's easy to enter the machine. To stabilize and protect your knees, simply place your feet high enough on the platform so that your lower legs and upper body will be reasonably parallel to each other during the lower, and with any other method of squatting, the far more dangerous, half of the exercise. Surprisingly, your knees will feel only a 1 or 2 inch difference of foot placement on the platform. The longer your thighs and the more sensitive your knees, the higher on the platform you should keep your feet during the exercise. Once your feet are placed properly on the platform, the carriage's, and thus also your upper body's, patented curved trajectory lets you perform the fullest possible squats safely and comfortably. By contrast, any straight trajectory apparatus, such as a hack machine, would force your knees forward into a much more vulnerable position as your legs bend into, then must recover from, even a parallel squat. This is why hack squats and most kinds of leg presses are so hard on most people's knees. Because the carriage and your upper body move less vertically during the lower half of the exercise, their properly curved trajectory provides yet another benefit. The available resistance feels quite uniform throughout the exercise. The sticking point has been virtually eliminated. In fact, the resistance encountered at the bottom of an extremely deep, yet totally safe, Atlantis squat is up to 42% less than that encountered just before the lockout and is thus commensurate with your squatting muscle's strength curve. Note that during the very bottom of his squat, Clark's thighs are essentially vertical, and their mass is thus prevented from distorting the available resistance. If you wish to perform high reps, simply grasp the upper handles to make shrugging and deep breathing easier. But it's the carriage's roller pads that make shrugging possible. If the carriage had the usual flat stationary pad, your shrugging muscles, your traps, would be in prison. But the Atlantis machine's exclusive roller pads liberate them. Combining breathing shrugs with high rep full squats has long been proven to enhance the already great power and muscle building value of squatting. All else being equal, squats are already superior to leg presses, and shrugability makes them even more so. But for those who don't care to perform high reps, a flat-padded, less expensive carriage is available. After completing your set, the readily accessible levers make it easy to rack the carriage safely onto any of the bent channel's upper rungs. But suppose you were to get stuck at the bottom of your last rep. Since the channel also has lower rungs, simply lift either or both levers several inches to rack the carriage onto either of the lowest rungs and exit the machine safely. Which means that now you can train alone in complete safety. At last, it's safer and easier than ever to train harder than ever.
Hi, I'm Bill Grant. I'm a former Mr. America, Mr. World winner.
Years ago, I used to do very, very heavy squats. Squats weighing over 400 pounds. Little did I realize how much damage it was going to do to my knees and my lower back. Well, years later, the damage was done. I could no longer squat with a straight bar or even a Smith machine. But then I was introduced to the Atlantis Fitness Super Swing. It changed my whole life. The very first set, I was able to do a full squat and feel comfortable and feel no pain in my knees or my lower back.
The machine provides yet another, more immediately obvious advantage. You won't need to use as much weight because the carriage's exclusive curved trajectory guides you into leg squats and prevents you from performing dangerous and less effective back squats, which are the result of your upper body leaning too far forward and your hips thrust too far backwards. Since your quads are the weaker link in the chain of squatting muscles, leg squats with only 100 pounds are far more effective for, and probably even more challenging too, your quads, and certainly far safer for your knees and back, than are back squats with 250 pounds, which dramatically illustrates the fact that ordinary squats tend to involve too much hip and back and not enough quad. The carriage, which does not need to be counterweighted, is light enough to enable any normally healthy adult beginner to use the machine with no added resistance if necessary, yet sturdy enough to accommodate the largest, strongest power lifter. And the optional aluminum carriage is even lighter. There's yet another feature that enhances how natural and wonderfully smooth the machine already feels. Like a barbell, the carriage can move slightly to either side, but without affecting safety or balance, so that you won't experience any locked-in feeling. It's a machine that doesn't feel like one.
Well, Darlene, now that you tried the Atlantis Fitness Super Swing, what do you think about it, especially after having the injuries you had?
I think it's an excellent machine. I had absolutely no pain in my knees or my neck or my back. It's been so hard for me to do squats in the gym with the other machines, and this machine, I know I could do it with no pain on a regular basis.
Well, thank you very much, Darlene. I'm glad you love the Atlantis Fitness Super Swing, because so do I.